Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. Now guys, the greatest crime that anybody can commit within the Nigerian space is to ask that the country be run better. So anybody that is asking for better governance of the Nigerian space is committing a crime so egregious that the state will weigh down on that person with all of the apparatus of state. So we had the Showore example, of course, which we all know famously, and Abajalingo is another example of that. Olawale Bakare went in with Omoyele Showore, but as it is the case with Nigerians, they're very slow to pick up on these things. So the next person now to get a punishment beating is Senator Shehu Sani. So Senator Shehu Sani now is now the latest name, now the latest famous marquee name in the clutches of the state for daring to ask that the country be run better. So in this video, I'm going to bring you a two-part video, one with Senator Shehu Sani speaking out of the EFCC facilities where it's currently being held, and the EFCC now responding and stating the reasons why they have this guy in their facility. So I bring you first the Senator Shehu Sani angle. As guys, I bring you this. Shehu Sani speaks from EFCC detention over alleged extortion of $24,000. So that's the headline. Already the amount being discussed here, it doesn't really say it. It aligns with that allegation of Showore money laundering, saying that he moved $19,000 from his business account to his personal account, and that is tantamount to money laundering in the Nigerian space. So now this now very wealthy senator now, they are now accusing of extorting $24,000 from somebody. So again, the figures, the amounts, the sums of money does not marry up with the personality and the narrative that they are giving for detaining the person. So again, the headline: Shehu Sani speaks from EFCC detention over alleged extortion of $24,000. So now let's see now what the Affable senator has to say. Embattled former senator and activist Shehu Sani has spoken out from a detention facility belonging to the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) as he claims that the action against him was just to smear his image. Sani, who is being held for alleged extortion of $24,000 from a businessman, spoke on Friday, January the 10th, claiming that the accusation against him by the EFCC had no base and comes without fact. He specifically described the allegations as lacking any base or fact. He said what was said about him has no substance. In a message he sent to a journalist from detention, Sani was reported as saying it was meant to tarnish his image. The extortion allegation is nothing but a wholesale falsehood packaged in a phantom anti-graft facade to taint, stain, and mute me. That shall never happen if I am alive, Sani said in the message. Sani said he already told the FCC all he knows about the allegation, which he described as their package of lies, and I demand the FCC to make public all the sheets of our statements and supporting documents for the world to see. Sani argued that his detention is not fair and that it is simply arranged. He argued that Alhaji Sani Dauda, the petitioner, and those sponsoring him have not been able to provide any proof of their allegation. Shehu Sani says he is being set up, but he would remain strong. I am unjustly incarcerated on the grounds of an arranged two-page petition backed with no evidential or documentary proof, Sani insisted. Sani alleged that the authorities had closed his bank accounts even though he is just being accused of extortion. He further said that his houses have been searched whilst he is being told to declare his assets, which he said he had done previously. The former senator said he had never met the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Tanko Mohammed, after claims that he allegedly demanded money to bribe the latter and other judges. He also insisted that he never discussed any such issues as receiving money from the petitioners for onward transfer to any judge, as has been claimed. He said the case against him is not just fake, but what he called blatant lies passed through someone and the nation's anti-graft agency just to cause drama. The former senator has been in the anti-graft agency's custody since late last year over alleged extortion. So that is Shehu Sani now having his say from within the EFCC facilities. He's been able to get word out to say this is completely made up of course, and there's no iota of truth to this, and if they do have any proof, then they should please present it, and is granting them fiat to publish what they have in the public space so that the public can then see what is contending with. So that is Shehu Sani speaking out of the EFCC detention, and here is the EFCC now trying to respond. EFCC breaks silence on detention of Shehu Sani. So this is the second headline. EFCC breaks silence on the detention of Shehu Sani. So now let's see now what this outfit has to say. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission has spoken up on the detention of ex-lawmaker Senator Shehu Sani. Sani is being detained for allegedly obtaining $25,000, so it's now gone up by $1,000 just within the space of two narratives, two storylines. So Sani is being detained for allegedly obtaining $25,000 from an auto trader, Alhaji Sani Dauda, to bribe EFCC chairman Ibrahim Magu in order to protect him from an investigation by the agency. The anti-graft agency, in a statement signed by its acting spokesman, Tony Orilade. So now we now have Tony Orilade now. I think they have packed Peter Ofanaya because his lies is not getting even too much for them, I imagine. Or maybe they're just cooling him off to bring this one forward. So the anti-graft agency, in a statement signed by its acting spokesperson, Tony Orilade, said the senator is being treated well and he is detained in a very decent environment, adding that Sani has a case to answer. I really detest this, by the way, them saying this all the time, that their facilities are very good and these people are being treated nicely. So it is not these people being treated nicely, it is their liberty being curtailed. So if you are curtailing their liberty, then no matter how well you treat them, their liberty is being curtailed and their fundamental human right is being infringed upon. So if you have a case against this person, then take him to court and let the court make a determination. You cannot arbitrarily hold on to somebody outside of the law. We've had this with the Showore situation. We had this with Abajalengo, Olawale Bakari, etc. And they keep on repeating this thing, and they come up with this exact same statement that they are treating them well and their facilities are decent. No, the guy is happier at home with his wife and children than in your facility. We carry on. Invariably, claims in some quarters of the breach of his fundamental human rights are merely in the imagination of the purveyors of such claims. Let it be stated clearly that Senator Shehu Sani has questions to answer as regards his alleged involvement in name dropping, and particularly that he obtained $25,000 from Alhaji Sani Dauda, the ASD Motors boss, in order to help shield him from investigations being carried out by the EFCC. For certain people to brazenly come out to defend a suspect being probed for a serious offense like the one committed by Sani shows that they are not really conversant with this offense. It is unfortunate that certain people are ready to do anything to support evil for pecuniary gains. So this is now what they have said in response to detaining this guy. He has a case to answer. It's not really a response, and it doesn't really add anything to anything that is known, or really anything that is not known. So the reasons why this guy is being detained is still vague and spurious. They are alleging that it took a it was 24, it's now $25,000 bribe to help ease this guy, some motor dealer, out of a case that he has to answer with the authorities, and this is the reason now why they're detaining him in their custody. So this is not a capital offense, and this is not really something of any big magnitude. So if they detain him and then they present him in court, and then the court grants him bail, and then he'll meet them in court to have his day in court, so that they can then present the proof of what they feel they have that is sufficient enough to prosecute him. But of course this is not going to happen. They are going to detain him just really to stress him out and to punish him really for being a voice against Malam Buhari and of course Malam Nasir El-Rufai as well. It's just really lucky for Senator Shehu Sani really that is a known name and a revered name within the Nigerian space. Otherwise they could have just disappeared him quietly and just kept him indefinitely, as they have done no doubt countless people. We heard the story of some guy not that long ago, over a week ago. It was already actually brought this story out of the detention camp that he was held in. The guy bought a SIM card, and the SIM card that the phone company sold him was the same number, old number that used to be used by one of Buhari's children, which the girl now no longer uses. The girl had abandoned 2-3 years ago. So the phone company then recycled it back into public use. This guy went innocently to buy a SIM card, and for the crime of having a SIM card allocated to him that used to belong to the daughter of the president, this guy was in detention for 10 weeks, even though he was able to tell them that this is what happened and this is where I bought it from, and they could have easily verified that and let the guy go within the day. But no, that's not the Nigerian way. They just hold on to you and detain you to traumatize you, and if you have any money, they'll extort it. If they are going to sell your family house, they'll sell it. You know, this is just the Nigerian way. So now Senator Shehu Sani now caught in the vice grip of the Nigerian way, but especially the Malam Buhari way, because the Malam Buhari way is Nigerian way Mark 10 is raised to the power of 1,000,000. The abuse of power that we see in the Nigerian space, we have never witnessed it to this degree ever. Not even under Abacha did we go through what the country is going through now with this particular set of chances. Come tell me what your thoughts are about this particular thing that has been alleged against Senator Shehu Sani. Do you really believe it that Senator Shehu Sani would take a bribe of $24,000, $25,000? And even if he did, which I personally don't believe, but then of course I don't have the facts, I'm just going off my prejudice of liking the guy who I do like. So that's my prejudice. So I don't know the facts of the case that is there against him. But even if it is true, is it sufficient enough a reason to detain this guy in perpetuity, because they have now held on to him now since before the new year, and the guy has not been presented in court as far as I'm aware. I might well have been presented in court and I'm not aware of it, but there's certainly not any stories that I've come across that this guy is being presented in court. We're just talking about a case of bribery, you know, and corruption. So if it's just a case of bribery, then it's not enough of a reason to hold on to this guy indefinitely, which now seems to be what is happening now. Come tell me what your thoughts are about all this in the comment section. But before you do that, click on the red subscribe button so it turns gray. The bell button notifies you every time I drop a new video. Then come tell me which side you weigh, Senator Shehu Sani or the EFCC, in the comment section. So I'll leave you here. Carry this conversation on with you in the comment section. But here I say peace.